Ayomide was waiting anxiously, her heart pounding with worry. "Where have you been, Funke? I've been trying to reach you, but your phone was unreachable," Ayomide exclaimed as she rushed to greet her friend. Funke smiled sheepishly and explained everything that had happened with Chief Otumba. She showed Ayomide the bags of clothes and accessories, and Ayomide's eyes widened in surprise. "Wow, Funke, that's incredible," Ayomide exclaimed, feeling a mixture of happiness and concern for her friend. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by lush green fields and tall trees, there lived a young woman named Funke. Funke was a hard-working young lady in her 20s who sold oranges in the village with her mother. Together, they ran a small store by the roadside where they would display their juicy oranges for sale. Funke loved her mother dearly and always helped her with her fruits. Sometimes, when the sun was high in the sky and the village was bustling with people, Funke would leave her mother at the stall and take a basket of oranges to hawk around the village. One sunny day, Funke was at the stall with her mother. She started thinking about her childhood friend, Ayomide. Ayomide had left the village a few years ago to live in the city with her aunt. Funke and Ayomide were the best of friends when they were young. They did everything together. They went to school together, played together, and shared their secrets with each other. But one day, Ayomide's aunt came to visit, and she took Ayomide away to live with her in the city. Since then, Funke missed her friend terribly. She often wondered how Ayomide was doing and wished she could see her again. As Funke was lost in her thoughts, she turned to her mama and said, "Mother, I wish I could see Ayomide. I missed her so much." Her mother looked at her with a smile and said, "I understand, my dear. Ayomide was like a sister to you, but going to the city is not easy at all. It will cost a lot of transportation." Funke nodded, understanding her mother's concern, but deep down, she knew she had to find a way to see her friend once again. Determined to make her dream come true, Funke decided to work even harder. "I will try to double our fruit sales, Mama," Funke said with determination. "I will hawk oranges all over the village and make enough money to go to the city." Her mother looked at her with pride and said, "I believe in you, my daughter. With your hard work and determination, everything is going to be possible." From that day on, Funke worked tirelessly to increase their fruit sales. She woke up very early in the morning, picked the ripest oranges from the trees, and hauled them to the stall. Then she would set out to hawk the fruits, walking from one end of the village to another, calling out to passerby and enticing them with the sweet smell of oranges. As the days passed, Funke's hard work started to pay off. She sold more oranges than ever before. Her mother was so impressed. Her dedication and determination made her more sales. "I'm so proud of you, Funke," her mother would say, smiling as she watched her daughter count the money from their sales. "You are truly a hard-working young woman." But Funke knew that she still had a long way to go before she could afford the trip to the city. So she continued to work hard, pushing herself to sell even more oranges and save every penny she had earned. After a long journey, Funke finally arrived in the city. She stepped out of the taxi and looked around in amazement at the tall buildings and bustling streets. This was nothing like the quiet village she was used to, and she couldn't help but feel a little overwhelmed. As Funke gathered her bags from the taxi, Ayomide rushed out of her apartment building to greet her. Ayomide's face lit up with excitement when she saw her childhood friend, Funke. Funke was standing there with her bags. "Funke!" Ayomide exclaimed, rushing forward to give her friend a big hug. "I've been waiting to see you. Welcome to the city," Ayomide said. Funke returned Ayomide's hug with equal enthusiasm, feeling grateful to finally be reunited with her friend. Together, they walked into Ayomide's apartment building, chatting and catching up on everything that had happened since they last saw each other. As they entered Ayomide's apartment, Funke couldn't help but admire how beautiful and comfortable it was. The walls were painted with a soft shade of blue, and the furniture looked brand new and stylish. "Wow, Ayomide, your apartment is amazing," Funke exclaimed, looking around in awe. Ayomide smiled proudly and said, "Thanks, Funke. I've been working hard to make it feel like home. I'm so glad you are here to see it." They spent the rest of the afternoon chatting and laughing, reminiscing about their childhood memories and sharing stories about their lives in the village and the city. As the sun began to set, Ayomide realized that Funke must be tired from long journey. "You must be exhausted, Funke," she said with concern. "Why don't you freshen up and rest for a bit? We can catch up more later." Funke nodded gratefully, feeling the weight of fatigue settling in her bones after the long journey. "That sounds like a good idea, Ayomide. Thank you very much." With that, Funke headed to the guest room to unpack her bags and freshen up. As she lay down on the comfortable bed, she couldn't help but feel grateful for her friendship with Ayomide and the opportunity to start a new chapter of her life in the city. Meanwhile, Ayomide busied herself in the kitchen, preparing a delicious meal for her and Funke to enjoy together. She wanted to make sure that Funke was welcomed and felt at home in her new surroundings. As she cooked, Ayomide couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement for the adventures that lay ahead. She knew that with Funke by her side, anything was possible. After settling into Ayomide's apartment, Funke started to feel restless. She wanted to find a job so she could contribute to the household expenses and send money back to her mother in the village. With Ayomide's help, she began searching for job opportunities online. Weeks went by and Funke applied for numerous jobs, hoping to get a positive response, but each time her inbox remained empty and her hopes began to fade. One day, as Funke sat in the kitchen table, feeling disheartened by her unsuccessful job search, Ayomide approached her with a small box in her hand. "Funke, I have something for you," Ayomide said with a smile, handing her the box. Curious, Funke opened the box and gasped in surprise when she saw the brand new smartphone that was inside. "Ayomide, this is amazing! Thank you so much," Funke exclaimed, her eyes shining with gratitude. Ayomide smiled warmly and said, "I know how much you've been struggling with your job search, Funke. I hope this phone will make things a little easier for you." Overwhelmed by Ayomide's kindness, Funke hugged her friend tightly, feeling a surge of hope and gratitude wash over her. The next day, Funke armed herself with her smartphone and set out once again to search for job opportunities. She spent hours scrolling through job listings and sending out applications. She was also hoping to get positive responses. But despite her efforts, the days turned into weeks, and still Funke received no job offers. As she returned home each evening, she felt defeated and discouraged. Ayomide was there to comfort her and offer her words of encouragement. One evening, as they sat together in the living room, Funke poured out her heart to Ayomide. "I don't know what to do, Ayomide," she said, her voice tinged with sadness. "I desperately need a job so I can support myself and send money back to my mother. But no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to find anyone." Ayomide listened sympathetically to Funke's words, her heart aching for her friend's struggles. "I understand how you feel, Funke," she said gently. "Finding a job in the city can be a tough one, especially when you don't have connections. But I believe in you, Funke, and I know that you will find something soon." Funke sighed, feeling a glimmer of hope in Ayomide's words. "It's easy for you to say, Ayomide," she said, her voice tinged with frustration. "You have a job, and you don't know how hard it is to keep searching day after day without any success." But Ayomide shook her head, her eyes filled with empathy. "You are right, Funke. I have a job now, but it wasn't always like this. When I first came to the city, I was in the same position as you. I know how tiring and discouraging it can be. But you have to keep believing in yourself and never give up. I will be here to support you every step of the way." Funke smiled and hugged Ayomide. One sunny afternoon, as Funke was walking down the bustling streets of the city, her mind consumed with thoughts of finding a job, disaster struck. A passing car drove through a puddle, splashing dirty water all over her freshly washed dress. Funke stood there, fuming with anger as she watched the car sped away. But to her surprise, the car screeched to a halt a few meters ahead, and the driver stepped out. It was Chief Otumba, a wealthy and respected man in the estate. Funke had heard of him before, known for his generosity and philanthropic deeds. Chief Otumba approached Funke with a look of concern on his face. "I am so sorry, young lady," he said sincerely. "That was completely unintentional. Please, let me make it up to you. Come into the car and I will take you shopping to replace your dress." Funke hesitated for a moment, unsure whether to trust this stranger. But something in Chief Otumba's kind eyes reassured her, and she reluctantly agreed. As they drove to the mall, Chief Otumba engaged Funke in a conversation, asking about her well-being and her life in the city. Funke opened up to him, telling him about her journey from the village in search of a better life and struggles to find a job. Impressed by Funke's resilience and determination, Chief Otumba decided to go above and beyond to help her. He took her on a shopping spree, buying her dresses, bags, shoes, jewelries, and even wigs. He also handed her a generous sum of money for her upkeep alone and gave her his phone number, telling her to call him if she ever needed anything. Funke was overwhelmed with gratitude for Chief Otumba's kindness. She couldn't believe her luck and felt like she was dreaming. When Funke finally returned home, Ayomide was waiting anxiously, her heart pounding with worry. "Where have you been, Funke? I've been trying to reach you, but your phone was unreachable," Ayomide exclaimed as she rushed to greet her friend. Funke smiled sheepishly and explained everything that had happened with Chief Otumba. She showed Ayomide the bags of clothes and accessories, and Ayomide's eyes widened in surprise. "Wow, Funke, that's incredible," Ayomide exclaimed, feeling a mixture of happiness and concern for her friend. "But you have to be careful. Sometimes People's intention may not be as pure as they seem. Don't let these gifts cloud your judgment. Funke waved off Ayomide's concerns, insisting that Chief Otumba was a kind and generous man who only wanted to help her. Ayomide then excitedly told Funke about the job opening she had helped her to apply at her workplace. Ayomide also told her that she is hopeful that they will contact her for the job. Funke thanked her for all her support. As days turned into weeks, Funke found herself growing closer to Chief Otumba. She would often call him to express her gratitude for his generosity, and they would spend hours talking together on the phone, getting to know each other better. Chief Otumba, in turn, seemed to enjoy Funke's company. He would take her out to fancy restaurants, shower her with expensive gifts, and treat her like a princess. Funke couldn't believe her luck, and she quickly became fond of Chief Otumba. One day, as they sat together in Chief Otumba's luxurious living room, Funke mustered up the courage to ask about his family. Chief Otumba's expression softened as he told her about his late wife and their son who lived abroad. Funke felt a pang of sympathy for him, but she was secretly relieved that there was no one else in his life to come in between them. As their relationship blossomed, Funke and Chief Otumba began spending more time together. They would go out clubbing, dancing the night away, and then return to Chief Otumba's house, where Funke would spend the night. Meanwhile, Ayomide grew increasingly worried about her friend's sudden relationship with Chief Otumba. She could see how much Funke was enjoying the lavish lifestyle he provided, but she couldn't take off her concerns about the true nature of their relationship. "Funke, I am really worried about you," Ayomide said one evening as they sat together in their apartment. "I know Chief Otumba has been good to you, but I can't help but feel like something isn't right. You've stopped job hunting and you're spending all your time with him. What if he's not who he seems to be?" Funke brushed off Ayomide's concerns, insisting that Chief Otumba was a kind and generous man who only wanted the best for her. "Ayomide, you worry too much," Funke said with a laugh. "I'm happy with Chief Otumba, and that's all that matters." As weeks turned into months, Funke found herself becoming more and more entangled with Chief Otumba's world. She no longer cared about finding a job, as she seemed to have everything she wanted with Chief Otumba by her side. One day, Ayomide returned home from work to find Funke packing her bags. "What are you doing, Funke?" Ayomide asked her, her heart sinking at the sight of her friend preparing to leave. "I am moving out, Ayomide," Funke said with a smile. "I'm going to live with Chief Otumba." Ayomide's heart shattered into a million pieces as she begged Funke not to leave. "Please, Funke, don't go," Ayomide pleaded, tears streaming down her face. "You're making a big mistake. What about your job? What about your future?" Funke remained unmoved. Her mind was made up. "I've received the employment letter from your company, Ayomide," Funke said, her voice tinged with sadness. "But I won't be going for the interview. Chief Otumba doesn't want me to stress myself. He will take care of me." Ayomide felt a wave of despair wash over her as she realized that her friend had chosen Chief Otumba over everything else. She could only watch helplessly as Funke walked out of the door, leaving behind everything they had shared. As Ayomide continued to work diligently as an executive assistant, she made sure to keep in touch with her family back in the village. She called both her mother and Funke's mother to update them on Funke's situation, assuring them that she has now moved out of her house and now lives on her own. Ayomide's dedication to her work did not go unnoticed. Her boss, Mr. Yemi, admired her intelligence and work ethic and soon began to take a keen interest in her. At first, Ayomide was shy and unsure how to respond to his attention, but as time went on, she found herself growing fond of him. Mr. Yemi was impressed by Ayomide's dedication and hard work. He eventually decided to reward her with a raise in salary. Ayomide was grateful for the recognition and continued to excel in her role as his assistant. Meanwhile, Funke was living the life of luxury with Chief Otumba. He showered her with expensive gifts, including a brand new car, and she was able to send a significant amount of money back to her mother in the village. Despite the material comfort, Funke couldn't shake off the growing sense of unease. One day, while she was with Chief Otumba, she noticed him staring at a nude picture of a girl on his phone. Feeling a surge of anger and betrayal, Funke confronted him, but her defiance was met with a resounding slap across the face. Shocked and frightened, Funke fell to the ground, tears stinging her eyes as Chief Otumba warned her never to interfere in his business again. From that day on, Chief Otumba's behavior grew more erratic. He started keeping late nights, returning home feeling wasted and tired. Despite her growing discomfort, Funke continued to care for him. But when she refused his advances at night, he would force himself on her, leaving her feeling violated and alone. Meanwhile, Ayomide fell ill and was forced to take a few days off from work. To her surprise, her boss, Mr. Yemi, showed up at her doorstep with flowers, chocolate, and food to make her feel better. Grateful for his kindness, Ayomide expressed her gratitude, and the two of them spent the day talking and laughing together. As Ayomide recovered, Mr. Yemi confessed his feelings for her, telling her that he couldn't resist her intelligence and beauty. Ayomide was taken aback by his confession, found herself drawn to him as well. After some hesitation, she agreed to be his girlfriend. They began to work together as a team, navigating the challenges of their budding relationship alongside their professional duties. After enduring months of domestic abuse from Chief Otumba, Funke found herself at a crossroads. Despite his apologies and lavish gifts, she couldn't shake off the feeling of betrayal and fear that gripped her heart each time he raised his hand against her. Yet, she couldn't bring herself to leave him, trapped in a cycle of forgiveness and hope. Chief Otumba's manipulation extended to Funke's relationship with Ayomide. He insisted that Funke must cut ties with her friend, isolating her further from the support she desperately needed. Ayomide, unaware of the extent of Funke's suffering, continued to focus on her blossoming relationship with Mr. Yemi. On Ayomide's birthday, Mr. Yemi surprised her with a proposal of marriage, and Ayomide joyfully accepted, eager to begin a new chapter of her life with the man she loved. He wasted no time in planning their wedding. Mr. Yemi even went to visit Ayomide's parents to seek their blessings. As Ayomide's life seemed to be falling into place, Funke received a shocking news. She was pregnant. She told Chief Otumba, but he callously demanded that she have an abortion. But Funke stood her ground, determined to keep the baby. Meanwhile, Ayomide received a letter from Funke. but her attempt to reach out to her friend was met with silence. Unbeknownst known to Ayomide, Funke was going through her own ordeal, trapped in a toxic relationship with Chief Otumba. One day, a woman claiming to be Chief Otumba's elder sister, Auntie Lara, paid Funke a visit. Auntie Lara revealed the ton of truths about Chief Otumba's marriage to his 2 wives and that he even had 7 children who lived abroad. Heartbroken and betrayed, Funke confronted Chief Otumba, only to be met with violence and rejection. He threw her out and told her never to leave with any of the things he had gotten for her, including her new clothes and the car. With nowhere else to turn, Funke found herself homeless and penniless. She sought refuge at Ayomide's house, only to discover that her friend had traveled abroad, leaving no trace behind to start up the US branch of her company with her husband. Devastated and alone, Funke returned to the village, heavily pregnant with a set of twins. Despite the disappointment and judgment she faced from her family and community, Funke's mother was disappointed. She cried her eyes out and told Funke that why hadn't she listened to Ayomide's pleas. Funke, unknowing what to do, found solace in the unconditional love from her children and the familiar routine of selling fruits with her mother. Her mother forgave her and welcomed her back with open arms. 2 years later, Ayomide returned to the village to visit her aging mother, and Funke heard about it and seized the opportunity to beg her for forgiveness. Despite her initial reluctance, Ayomide agreed to sponsor Funke's children's education and offered her financial assistance to start a new business. Grateful for Ayomide's kindness and support, Funke vowed to rebuild her life and protect her children from pain and hardship that she had endured. Funke also asked if she had heard anything about Chief Otumba. Ayomide told her that a couple of weeks ago, she learned that Chief Otumba was arrested for money laundering. Funke watched her children grow and thrive. She found hope and redemption in the midst of adversity. She was thankful for her mother's support and also thankful for Ayomide's commitment to sponsoring her children's education. She vowed never to mistake all that glitters for gold. The moral of this story is that Funke's pursuit of wealth and luxury led her into a relationship with Chief Otumba that was toxic, but she endured the abuse and manipulation. So it serves as a reminder that true happiness cannot be found in material possessions alone. The story also highlights the value of true friendship and the importance of being there for one another in times of need. It also serves as a reminder to pay attention to red flags in relationships and not to ignore them. Funke's story also reminds us that we can overcome even the toughest obstacles with determination and perseverance. Thanks for watching this captivating story on African Stories and Folktales. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more stories.